Before starting the story, I would like to say that 99% of you are not subscribers, while only 1% are. At 1,000 subscribers, I will post a series of special stories for you. Subscribe now.
In the cold expanse of the Mirandus galaxy, a threat had grown in the shadows, a terror that had come to choke the light of stars one by one. The Zithrae, a formidable and ruthless species, carved their dominion across the cosmos with relentless precision. Known for their chitinous obsidian exoskeletons and piercing luminescent eyes, the Zithrae inspired an instinctual fear across inhabited worlds. Their empire, vast and sprawling, was a testament to centuries of conquest and subjugation. The Galactic Council's woes. The Galactic Council, a collective of species bound by mutual cooperation and peace pacts, had long viewed the Zithrae with wary eyes. Skirmishes at the galactic borders had escalated into full-blown conflicts on several frontier worlds. Reports of decimated planets and enslaved populations were becoming distressingly common, with the Council unable to curb the Zithrae's advance. Ambassador Thrall, from the planet Vilix, a being of pure energy contained in a shimmering suit, addressed the latest Council meeting, his voice modulated with the gravity of their situation. Esteemed members, the Zithrae fleet approaches yet another sector. They have breached the defenses of the twin nebulae and laid waste to the colony there. We must rally our forces or face extinction. Murmurs of assent and fear reverberated through the holographic chamber, where representatives of various races, mammalian, reptilian, ethereal, and more, gathered in a desperate bid to find a solution. Earth, the new frontier. Meanwhile, the Zithrae had set their sights on a fresh target, a small, blue-green world rich with life and resources, yet technologically primitive. Earth, home to humans, was blissfully unaware of the galactic struggles beyond their solar system. The Zithrae's initial scans and undercover probes revealed a fractured planet of warring nations, ripe for conquest. Commander Zorvath, a high-ranking Zithrae tactical officer, watched the live feeds from their cloaked scout ship in orbit around Earth. With a hiss, he communicated with his superiors. This planet shows potential not just for resource extraction, but also for labor. The inhabitants are diverse and many are robust. They would serve well under our regime. Approval came swiftly, and Zorvath prepared his fleet for the imminent invasion. Earth's introduction to the galactic stage was to be marked by fire and subjugation. Humanity's first glimpse on Earth, disparate signals and anomalies had begun to catch the attention of Dr. Lena Hart, a leading astrophysicist working at a monitoring station in the high Andes. Initially dismissed as interference, the patterns soon revealed an unnatural origin. Lena, alongside her team of scientists and engineers, managed to decode a fragment of the transmission, confirming her worst fears. We are not alone, and we are in danger. Rushing to bring this information to the world's leaders, Lena's warnings prompted a frenzied, albeit secretive, international meeting. As nations that were once enemies sat down to deliberate Earth's defense, old rivalries simmered under the surface. The imminent threat forced a tenuous alliance spearheaded by an unprecedented global coalition. In the shadows of this newfound unity, humanity's best minds collaborated on a rapid technological evolution. They repurposed satellites for surveillance, militarized space shuttles, and enhanced their communications networks. Earth, in its 11th hour, braced itself to meet the galactic terror head-on, unbeknownst to the full scale of the Zithrae Empire's might. The eve of invasion. As the Zithrae fleet assembled in the dark void, poised to strike, a lone human-made satellite intercepted their fleet's coordinates. The world watched in silent horror and awe as the first images of the alien armada were broadcasted. What followed was an unprecedented unity among the people of Earth. For the first time in history, humanity stood together, not just as a planet, but as a nascent member of the cosmic community, ready to defend their home. Thus, under the looming specter of the Zithrae dreadnoughts, Earth's fate hung in the balance, with only nascent hope and newfound resolve as its guardians against the terror of the galaxy. The skies above Earth were unusually clear, on the day the Zithri fleet materialized from the void of space, their ships blotting out the stars like swarms of locusts. The arrival was both grandiose and terrifying, signaling the end of Earth's isolation in the cosmos and the beginning of its trial by fire. The ultimatum. The world came to a standstill as millions watched the alien ships descend through the atmosphere, their massive hulls reflecting the sun's rays like dark mirrors. Panic spread like wildfire, but it was the message from the Zithri that chilled every soul to the bone, a simple transmission received by every radio, television, and smartphone across the globe. Submit and serve, or resist and perish. Leaders from every nation scrambled to respond. Emergency meetings were convened, military forces were put on high alert, and scientists sought any advantage that could be leveraged against the invaders. Yet, in the shadow of such overwhelming power, many felt defeat was inevitable. Humanity's response. It was Dr. Lena Hart who changed the narrative. With her deep understanding of alien technology gleaned from the intercepted transmissions, she proposed a daring strategy: to communicate with the Zithri, not to surrender, but to negotiate. Her rationale was clear. If they wanted to annihilate us outright, they would have done so already. Empowered by this sliver of hope, Earth's leaders broadcasted a unified message of conditional truce. They demanded a meeting with the Zithri commanders, face to face, to discuss terms. The world held its breath for the invaders' response. The meeting, surprisingly, the Zithri agreed. Their interest in humans had shifted from seeing them as mere slaves to potential allies or subjects under their regime. They landed a delegation in the UN headquarters in New York, turning what was once a symbol of global unity into the stage for Earth's most critical negotiation. Commander Zorvath led the Zithri delegates, towering creatures that moved with both grace and menace. Opposite them, a team of Earth's finest minds, led by Lena and accompanied by military advisors and diplomats, prepared to make their case. The negotiations were tense. Zorvath was dismissive at first, his voice a guttural echo translating through devices. "You possess neither the technology nor the might to oppose us. Why should we bargain with those we can easily conquer?" Lena responded, her voice steady. "Because we can offer what you need: innovation and adaptability. Unlike the species you've subjugated, humans thrive on change and challenge. Enslave us, and you quench that spirit. Ally with us, and you gain more than just servants. You gain partners." A surprising turn. Intrigued by this perspective, Zorvath paused. His next words shifted the fate of the entire planet. "Show us this adaptability, demonstrate your value, and we will consider your proposal." The Earth delegation agreed, setting the stage for what would be humanity's most audacious display of ingenuity and will. As the Zithri watched, Earth's representatives orchestrated a showcase of human achievement, from technology and art to strategy and diplomacy. The verdict. As the demonstrations concluded, the atmosphere was charged with a cautious optimism. Zorvath conferred with his aides in their harsh, clicking tongue before turning back to the human delegates. "Your species intrigues us, humans. We will halt our conquest for now, to explore this partnership you propose. But be warned, fail to live up to your promises, and we will resume our campaign." With that, the Zithri departed, leaving behind a world forever changed. The imminent threat was paused, not averted, and humanity knew it had to prepare for what might come. But for the moment, Earth celebrated its small victory with a newfound unity and purpose. The challenge had united them in ways never before seen, and together they stepped into a new age, a time of preparation, innovation, and, most importantly, hope. Following the precarious agreement with the Zithri, Earth was a beehive of activity. While the temporary reprieve granted by the aliens offered some relief, it also set a clock ticking, a deadline by which humanity needed to demonstrate their worth not just as survivors, but as invaluable allies. Forming the ILA. The concept of the Intergalactic Liberation Alliance, ILA, originated from Lena Hart's urgent need to unify Earth's efforts with those of other oppressed species across the galaxy. It was a monumental task, diplomatically complex and technologically daunting. Earth's representatives had to reach out to species subjugated by the Zithri, many of whom were skeptical of human motives and capabilities. Ambassador Thrall of Vilix, who had long advocated for a collective resistance against the Zithri, saw potential in an alliance with humans. He facilitated introductions, using his credibility to vouch for Earth's sincerity and their innovative spirit. The first to join were the Ylenth, aquatic beings who controlled water-based technologies far beyond anything on Earth. Their planet had suffered under Zithri exploitation, their oceans plundered for resources. They were eager for any advantage that could help them reclaim their world. The Galactic Summit. A covert summit was arranged on Neutralis, a hidden asteroid base equipped to facilitate multi-species diplomacy. Representatives from Earth included Lena Hart, now regarded as Earth's chief diplomatic strategist for extraterrestrial relations, and General Carter, a military tactician with a pragmatic view of the galactic power structures. The summit was tense, with each species bringing their grievances and suspicions. The Christ, a silicon-based life form whose crystalline bodies shimmered with internal light, were the last to arrive. Their technology focused on energy manipulation, something the Zithri had heavily exploited. Lena presented Earth's case. Like many of you, we stand on the brink of annihilation or subjugation. Alone, each of our worlds will fall, but together we can create a force capable of standing up to the Zithri's tyranny. We bring to this alliance our rapid adaptability and technological ingenuity, honed through our survival on a volatile world. Building trust. To build trust among the disparate groups, Earth proposed a series of joint missions aimed at small Zithri outposts. These missions would serve both as a test of the alliance's effectiveness and a show of good faith among the member species. The first mission involved a combined force of human and Ylenth operatives. They targeted a Zithri mining facility on the oceanic moon of Hydronus 5. The Ylenth, with their superior underwater capabilities, handled the infiltration and sabotage of the moon's sea-based defenses, while human forces provided logistical and technical support. The mission was a resounding success. It not only crippled a key Zithri operation, but also demonstrated the potential of interspecies cooperation. News of the victory spread through secret channels, and more species began to express interest in joining the ILA, solidifying the alliance. With each successful mission, the ILA's ranks grew. Technology and strategies were shared openly among the member species, creating a melting pot of galactic ingenuity. Ships were retrofitted with hybrid technologies, and crews were trained in combined tactics that utilized the strengths of all member races. General Carter, speaking at a subsequent gathering on Neutralis, summed up the new spirit of the alliance. We are diverse, we are many, and it is precisely because of our differences, not despite them, that we are strong. Let the Zithri come. They will find not scattered prey, but a united front, a symbol of unity. The ILA not only unified various alien races, but also brought a new sense of purpose to Earth. Humanity now worked alongside aliens as equals, their combined efforts symbolizing a beacon of hope against oppression. As Earth continued to fortify its defenses and expand its technological prowess, the Alliance prepared for inevitable conflicts with the Zithri. But now, there was a tangible sense of optimism. United in their diversity, the ILA was ready to challenge the tyranny of the Zithri, and perhaps change the galaxy forever. The newly formed Intergalactic Liberation Alliance, ILA, had become a beacon of resistance against the Zithri Empire. Earth, once on the brink of subjugation, now stood at the forefront of this burgeoning alliance, bringing its unique brand of ingenuity and determination to the cosmic battlefield. Innovation at the forefront. Human technological innovation, spurred by the urgent need for survival and bolstered by the diverse technologies of their new allies, quickly became the ILA's greatest asset. The first major project was the retrofitting of the ILA fleet with hybrid technology that integrated human engineering with alien advancements, particularly those of the Christ and the Ylenth. The engineering teams, led by Dr. Lena Hart and her alien counterparts, focused on enhancing the fleet's capabilities in stealth and firepower. One of the flagship inventions was the Phantom Drive, a stealth technology developed from crystal energy manipulation techniques combined with human electromagnetic countermeasures. This technology allowed ILA ships to evade Zithri sensors, giving them a crucial advantage in hit-and-run tactics. The Battle of Viridian III. The effectiveness of these new technologies was soon tested at the Battle of Viridian III, a strategically vital system threatened by a Zithray armada. The ILA planned a two-pronged attack. The main fleet would engage the Zithray forces to draw them out, while a special ops team using Phantom Drive-equipped ships would infiltrate the Zithray armada, targeting their flagship's command center. General Carter, overseeing the battle strategy, coordinated the diverse units. Humans piloted the stealth ships, the Yellenth handled underwater sabotage, as Viridian III's primary base was on a water-covered planet, and the Christ provided crucial intelligence with their advanced sensory technologies. As the battle commenced, the Zithray were taken aback by the sudden and precise strikes of the ILA forces. The Phantom Drive ships, nearly invisible to sensors, successfully breached the Zithray flagship's defenses, planting a series of explosive charges that disabled the enemy's central command network. Without their leadership's directives, the Zithray forces were thrown into chaos. A display of unity. The victory at Viridian III was a turning point. Broadcasts of the battle, showcasing the coordinated might and technological prowess of the ILA, were sent across the galaxy, boosting morale and encouraging more species to join the alliance. The message was clear. The Zithray could be defeated, and the ILA was the spearhead of this new hope. Following the victory, a grand meeting was convened on Neutralis. Representatives of dozens of species gathered, each bringing new ideas and technologies to the table. The humans, once seen as the newcomers in galactic affairs, were now respected as equal partners in the struggle against the Zithray. Advancements and preparations. With their newfound confidence, the ILA shifted from defensive to offensive strategies. Workshops and labs on Earth and other allied planets buzzed with activity, producing new weapons and ships designed for versatility and power. Human factories, once geared towards domestic products, were now pivotal centers for producing war materials, which were shared freely among the alliance members. The Zithray, recognizing the growing threat from the ILA, began to retaliate with increased ferocity. However, each attack only served to refine the alliance's tactics and technologies further. Human ingenuity, combined with the vast knowledge of their allies, had given the ILA a fighting chance. The role of Earth. Back on Earth, societies underwent profound changes. The global focus on survival had erased many old conflicts and rivalries, replacing them with a unified commitment to the ILA's cause. The planet was transformed into a hub of innovation and a symbol of interstellar unity, where different species worked side by side for a common goal. Humanity's role in the ILA was not just as warriors, but as innovators and diplomats, proving that even in a galaxy filled with ancient and powerful civilizations, fresh ideas and perspectives could still make a world of difference. As they prepared for the next challenges, the people of Earth stood ready, their resolve hardened following the resounding victory at Viridian III. The Intergalactic Liberation Alliance, ILA, saw a surge in support and morale that swept across the galaxy. Worlds that had once bowed in fear to the Zithray now looked to the ILA with renewed hope and vigor, eager to join the fight for freedom. This influx of new allies brought additional resources and capabilities, allowing the alliance to expand its operations against their common enemy. Expanding the front with the momentum firmly on their side, the ILA began a series of operations designed to weaken the Zithray's control over several key systems. Human strategists, alongside their alien counterparts, coordinated large-scale assaults on Zithray supply lines and outposts, disrupting their operations and sowing confusion within their ranks. One significant operation was the liberation of the Tenebris system, a crucial junction for Zithray military logistics. The ILA fleet, now more diverse and powerful than ever, launched a surprise attack that overwhelmed the Zithri defenders. This victory not only secured vital resources for the ILA, but also opened up new routes for further incursions into occupied territories. Captain Mirov's campaign. Among the heroes of these battles was Captain Elena Mirov, a human tactician whose ingenious strategies had become a key component of the ILA's success. Her approach often involved unconventional tactics that leveraged the unique strengths of the ILA's varied members, turning what the Zithre viewed as a ragtag coalition into a finely tuned machine of war. Captain Mirov's most daring campaign took place on the fog-covered world of Misthaven, where she led a mixed-species task force against a heavily fortified Zithri stronghold. Utilizing the Christ's energy manipulation abilities to disrupt the enemy's electronic sensors, and the Yellenth's aquatic prowess to infiltrate via the planet's vast lakes, her forces achieved a stunning victory that would be celebrated across the galaxy. The symbol of unity. The success at Misthaven exemplified the power of diversity within the ILA. Stories of cooperation and bravery from the battle became legendary, symbolizing the unity and strength of the alliance. It also proved to the galaxy that the Zithre, once thought invincible, could be defeated by the very species they deemed inferior. Following these victories, the ILA convened on the now liberated world of Liberatus, a symbolic location central to the Alliance's territories. The summit was not just a strategic planning session, but also a celebration of the coalition's achievements. During this summit, plans were laid out for the next phase of the war, a direct assault on the Zithre core worlds, including their capital, Zith Prime. Integration and innovation. Back on Earth and other allied worlds, the societies continued to evolve under the influence of their intergalactic partnerships. Earth, in particular, had become a melting pot of alien cultures and technologies. Cities adapted to accommodate various environmental needs for different species, and Earth's technological base underwent a revolution powered by alien science. Human engineers, working alongside alien technologists, developed new types of warships and weaponry that incorporated elements from across the Alliance. These innovations not only enhanced the ILA's military capabilities, but also deepened the bonds between member species, as they shared in both the creation and the benefits of their joint efforts. The shifting tide. As the ILA prepared for their ultimate confrontation with the Zithri, the galaxy watched with bated breath. The Alliance's string of victories had turned the tide of the war, shifting the balance of power more in their favor than ever before. Each race brought their strengths to the forefront, united under a common cause, their diversity a stark contrast to the Zithre's oppressive uniformity. The stage was set for the final chapters of the conflict. The ILA, a once improbable coalition of the downtrodden and defeated, was now the galaxy's best hope for freedom and peace. With Earth at the epicenter of this historic alliance, humanity had proven itself a formidable force in galactic affairs, forever changing the cosmic landscape. As they prepared to strike at the heart of the Zith, the war had reached its crescendo as the Intergalactic Liberation Alliance, ILA, set its sights on Zith Prime, the heart of the Zithri Empire and the bastion of their tyrannical power. The final battle for freedom was not just about military might. It was a clash of ideologies, a fight to end centuries of oppression under the Zithri. Planning the assault, Captain Elena Mirov, now a celebrated hero across the galaxy, led the strategic planning alongside General Carter and representatives from all ILA member species. The plan was multifaceted, a direct assault on Zith Prime's formidable defenses, combined with a series of diversionary attacks to stretch the Zithri forces thin across their remaining territories. Human engineers and Christ scientists had developed a new weapon, the pulse bomb, capable of disabling electronic systems without causing widespread destruction, preserving infrastructure that would be crucial after the war. This bomb was to be deployed directly into the core of Zith Prime's defense systems, crippling their ability to coordinate and communicate. The battle begins. The ILA fleet, a massive array of ships from dozens of allied species emerged from hyperspace at the edges of the Zith Prime system. They were met with fierce resistance as Zithray defense fleets engaged with a ferocity born of desperation. The skies above Zith Prime burned with the fires of battle as both sides unleashed their full might. On board her flagship, the Liberator, Captain Mirov coordinated the complex operations. Yellenth pilots maneuvered through enemy lines with aquatic grace, even in the vacuum of space, while Christ warships used their advanced energy shields to protect the ILA fighters as they made their perilous approach toward the planet. Infiltration. Simultaneously, a small team led by Captain Mirov herself undertook a perilous mission. Disguised in a stealth ship enhanced with phantom drive technology, they slipped past the chaotic battle and approached Zith Prime. Their goal was to plant the pulse bomb within the planet's central defense hub. The team infiltrated the facility with the help of local resistance movements, species previously subjugated by the Zithray and now rebelling against their oppressors. This alliance of convenience between the ILA and the local resistors proved crucial. They encountered intense security, but the combined expertise of human stealth tactics and alien technologies allowed them to reach the core. The turning point. With the pulse bomb in place, the countdown began. Back in space, the ILA fleet executed a strategic retreat, luring the Zithri fleet away from the planet. When the bomb detonated, it sent a shockwave of electromagnetic energy that fried the Zithri's communications and defense systems. Seizing the moment of confusion, Captain Mirov signaled the all-clear, and the ILA fleet turned to launch a full-scale offensive. Without their defenses, the Zithray ships were sitting ducks, one by one. They were either destroyed or forced to surrender. The fall of Zith Prime. The ground forces of the ILA, comprising warriors from all the allied species, began their descent onto Zith Prime. The planet's surface battles were brutal, but the demoralized Zithray troops, reeling from the sudden loss of command and control, could not hold back the determined liberators. After hours of intense fighting, the ILA forces converged on the Zithray Capitol building. It was here that the final stand occurred. The Zithray overlord, in a last-ditch effort to salvage victory from the jaws of defeat, engaged in direct combat with Captain Mirov. The battle was fierce and furious, but ultimately, the overlord was no match for Mirov's cunning and the solidarity of her allies. Victory and surrender. With the capture of the Zithray overlord and the liberation of Zith Prime, the war effectively came to an end. The Zithray, leaderless and broken, had no choice but to surrender. The ILA's victory was declared, and celebrations erupted across the galaxy. The siege of Zith Prime would be remembered as the day the galaxy was freed from the clutches of tyranny. The fall of their capital marked the end of the Zithray Empire's reign of terror. In the aftermath, the ILA worked to establish a new galactic order, one based on the principles of the dust of war settled over Zith Prime, its skies no longer veiled by the dark fleets of the Zithri. With the tyrannical reign brought to an end, the galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief. The Intergalactic Liberation Alliance, ILA, once a desperate coalition, now stood as the architects of a new era, rebuilding the galaxy. In the aftermath of their victory, the ILA focused on reconstruction and reconciliation. Zith Prime, the heart of the former empire, was transformed into the Galactic Peace Hub. This symbolic act turned the capital from a seat of fear into a beacon of hope, where all galactic races could contribute to a shared future. Earth's leaders, alongside representatives from the Yellenth, Christ, and other member species, established the Galactic Council. This new governing body was tasked with maintaining peace, mediating conflicts, and overseeing the distribution of resources across star systems. Captain Elena Mirov was appointed as one of the Council's key advisors, her experience and wisdom crucial in guiding this nascent government. Earth, a melting pot of cultures. Back on Earth, the impact of the Alliance was profound. The planet had become a cultural melting pot, its cities teeming with alien visitors, diplomats, traders, scholars, and tourists eager to explore human society and share their own customs and knowledge. Interstellar embassies were established, and Earth's technology and infrastructure rapidly advanced due to the influx of alien technologies and cooperative development projects. Humanity thrived in this new intergalactic community. The shared struggle had erased many of Earth's old prejudices and divisions, giving rise to a generation that looked outward to the stars with hope and ambition. The legacy of the war. The ILA was disbanded, its purpose fulfilled. In its place, the Galactic Peacekeeping Forces were established, drawing volunteers from all across the galaxy. These forces, a blend of various species military and peacekeeping units, served to protect the fragile peace and assist in any humanitarian crises that emerged. Captain Mirov, reflecting on the past conflicts, initiated the Galactic Archives Project, a vast undertaking to document the history of the war and the stories of those who lived through it. The archives would serve as a reminder of the costs of tyranny and the value of unity and diversity, galactic integration and prosperity. The galaxy saw an unprecedented era of prosperity and integration. Trade routes were re-established and expanded, with Earth's products and culture finding new markets on distant worlds. Alien technologies helped solve age-old problems on Earth, from energy sustainability to disease eradication, propelling the planet to a new age of affluence and health. Scientific collaborations, such as the Intergalactic Research Network, brought together the brightest minds from across the galaxy to tackle the most pressing scientific mysteries. These efforts were supported by the Peace Hub's vast resources, ensuring that the pursuit of knowledge continued to bridge cultural and species divides. Reflections on peace. As peace settled across the galaxy, Captain Mirov often stood on the viewing deck of the Peace Hub, looking out over the thriving capital. The unity that had once seemed a distant dream was now reality. The ILA's legacy, built on the courage and cooperation of countless individuals, continued to inspire all who believed in the potential for change. From the bustling streets of Earth cities to the serene landscapes of Zith Prime, the galaxy had been irrevocably changed. Fear and domination had given way to cooperation and understanding, and while challenges remained, the shared commitment to peace promised a brighter future for all. In this new dawn, the terror of the galaxy had not only been quelled, it had been transformed. Humanity, once on the verge of extinction, now shone brightly at the center of this interstellar alliance, a testament to what could be achieved when disparate beings united under a common cause. The galaxy, once ruled by fear, now looked forward to an era of exploration and discovery, with humans integral to its new chapter. Thus, the galaxy moved forward, each species linked not by subjugation, but by mutual